Poised for Exit is a show for business owners who want to achieve a successful exit based on their own terms. Your business exit will likely be the biggest financial transaction of your life, and for most, you'll have one shot at doing it right. The topics and guests we feature and the stories they share will provide valuable ideas and strategies to improve operations and grow enterprise value so you can achieve the best possible exit outcome. Now here's your host, award-winning certified exit planning advisor, Julie Keys.
Welcome, everyone, to the Poised for Exit podcast show. Hot topic today, friends. Our guest is an expert on the subject of artificial intelligence. His expertise focuses on creating successful AI roadmaps and implementation projects for both private companies and professional services firms. We're going to hear from him right after these messages.
Are you a business owner getting ready to transition? If so, I recommend True North Mergers and Acquisitions as your confidential strategic partner. They understand your business sale isn't just about one buyer and the price, but what you net that counts. In other words, what you get to keep. When you're ready for a higher level of representation that delivers consistent results, contact True North M&A to do the heavy lifting of selling your business. Learn more at tnma.com. That's tnma.com. Thinking about selling your business in the next few years? Don't wait to start planning. I've seen too many business owners wait too long and regret it. Freedom Financial Partners are financial advisors who specialize in exit planning for business owners, helping you reduce tax surprises, protect what you've built, and quantify how much you need from the sale. Their proven process helps you think beyond your business so you can move forward with clarity and confidence. The longer you wait, the fewer options you may have. Download your free financial readiness assessment today at ffpforme.com/exit. That's ffpforme.com/exit.
My name is Todd Crow, and I'm the president of the Twin Cities Exit Planning Chapter. If you're a business owner and advisor and want to learn more about the world of exit planning, you're invited to visit the Twin Cities chapter of the Exit Planning Institute. You can expect top-level education delivered by subject matter experts at every monthly meeting. Grow your network and draw from the learning that could be a game changer for your business or your practice. There's no pressure to become a member, so come and see what the buzz is all about. Our meetings are held the second Wednesday of the month, 7:30 to 9 a.m. See the show notes for more information and registration links.
Exiting your business is a big deal, both financially and emotionally. I'm John Marquet, Certified Exit Planning Advisor with TrustPoint. We help business owners transition smoothly on their terms. Our focus is on maximizing value, minimizing stress, and giving you confidence in what's next. Whether you're selling or passing the torch, we make the process seamless. Start planning today at trustpointinc.com. That's trustpointinc.com.
Hello, Poised for Exit listeners. We are here today with Erik Gabrielson, who is the co-founder of ProjectWe, which develops AI blueprints and implementation projects for private companies and professional services firms. Erik, welcome back.
Yeah, great to be back, Julie. Excited to be back in the conversation with you.
Yeah, definitely. You were on the show earlier this year. Tell us what's been happening since then. A lot, I know.
Yeah, I mean, things are moving fast in the world of AI, and I think the market's shifting fast. People are learning. We're doing some new things and things differently than we had before. I think maybe I said this last time, but I don't know that I've ever been in more of a learning place in my career than I have in the last 18 months since we've really dove into AI. So
Exactly.
it's kind of a rocket ship in ways. So
Well, and you and I have been partnering on some things as well, which we're going to talk about later in the show. But yeah, I would definitely agree with that wholeheartedly. Like I said in the show opener, though, you've been helping private companies adopt AI, putting roadmaps together, but you're also working with professional services. So you, as a professional service advisor, as a consultant for so many years, what was it about AI that you chose to adopt it? Tell us your story.
yeah, that's a great question. It's been since March of 23 that we knew we really wanted to adopt AI. That was about, 3 or 4 months after ChatGPT came out. And previous to that, we realized that we needed to have a virtual platform to really support all the heavy lifting work that we had been doing and to be able to scale in ways and support our clients in a more robust manner. And
Mm.
we couldn't find anything that any learning management system or any other type of platform that supported people and teams and organizations the way that we like to. So we built our own and then got ready to launch, as I said, in March of 23. And that was enough time for us to have played around with ChatGPT to realize that, man, this was absolutely going to change our business and every one of our clients' businesses. And so we put a stop on launching our platform and went forward with two imperatives, which were we're going to integrate AI and really learn this newer technology. It's been around for a long time in various forms, but
Mhm.
ChatGPT really bring it to the forefront. And then we're going to do it in a way that helps humans be better humans. And we thought we had a pretty unique perspective on doing that since we've been working, in the human performance and team and creating high performance cultures for decades. And so we wanted to bring that perspective in, and we started to see this generative AI as a tool that can really integrate people and process in ways that we've never been able to do it before. And so we were quite excited about it, and we've been on the journey ever since.
Yeah, for sure. And so, of course, AI is in the minds and sometimes in the business plans of a lot of the people actually that are listening to the show right now, regardless if they're founders or professional advisors or anything in between that. Lots of stories that we could share here. But what I've been reading, and I know what you've been reading too, is that many companies who are trying to adopt artificial intelligence are not putting a plan together and getting buy-in from their teams. And so their integrations are failing. Like these big companies are having a big problem with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, tell us about what you've seen and then what you have created, what the teams created as the best remedy for that.
Yeah, I mean, what we've seen over and over is that many leaders and organizations are getting, excited with some of the hype, and it's really changed in the last, even 6, 8, 12 months. 8, 12 months ago was a different conversation in the marketplace. People were starting to be open to talking about it and curious about it, but not ready to actually dive in. And since then, more and more people are seeing the opportunity and wanting to dive in. And so they're taking their steps into diving in. And what we're seeing is they're a lot of times viewing it like a traditional software implementation, and they think they can build a tool and plug and play
Yeah,
and everything will be good. And what you're saying you're seeing and reading is that's not necessarily the case.
right.
And AI is more disruptive and a little bit different from traditional software. It's not plug and play. It is iterative and you learn with it. It learns with you. And one of the most important pieces, the critical factor, is the plan around the people and
Yeah.
integrating what's happened because it's impacting people so much, but it also is impacting the business potentially so much and so disruptive that this new potential direction in this paradigm shift has people are thinking that the AI is going to transform their company for them, but the tool doesn't transform the company. The people do.
Yes.
And they forget about that. And what we're seeing is the ones that are not coming in with a mindset of AI is just a tool, but they're coming in with curiosity and experimentation and understanding that a place that AI can really, where the turbocharges happen, is when you start to view the AI actually as a teammate that
Mhm.
unleashes the rest of your team and not just a tool. And that really, that perspective and everything that goes along with it, which we could talk more, is a really important shift.
That is definitely a different mindset for sure. And perhaps some of these companies that are really struggling with what they spent millions on, uh, maybe that mind shift didn't occur. Like they looked at it just like you just said, like a software band-aid, like, oh, this is just going to create great efficiency and great profitability and yada yada, right? But it actually, at the end of the day, it really didn't do that. And so I know that you and the team are really out to change that for your clients. You're also working with professional services firms. An interesting conversation I had recently with someone in the M&A space, a deal maker, who said that companies that choose not to adopt AI in their efficiencies and in growing the value of their business, because AI is impacting valuations and it's going to keep impacting, probably more so, right? Very, very near future. But the ones who choose not to are going to end up becoming bargains for those who want to acquire them. And I can't think of one business owner that would even think about wanting to sell for less than what they think their company is worth or what they need, right?
They don't want to be a bargain.
No, no. So we're doing what we can here to try to help them not self-select that, right? When you think about what it does for business value, I mean, business valuation, of course, is a crystal ball right now when it comes to AI, but we do know that it impacts value. We do know that it creates efficiency. And then, of course, what does that do to valuation?
Yeah, well, I mean, what's one of the first steps when you're starting to take a look at that value acceleration is to start to identify some of the risks that might be there, right?
Right.
And one of those that continues to come to the top is owner dependency, or a key employee that is holding knowledge and capability that's unique, that no one else has in the organization. And so that's one of the places where we're seeing just a really great application of building these knowledge centers and be able to capture knowledge and capability and take it from living within one person to creating institutional knowledge, which is an amazing capability. But the other piece then tying into supporting everyone else around them. When we, work with teams, what we really see is that it's really about the ability to create this unconditional support where everybody raises the game. And now you can create a teammate that really helps that across the organization, and not replacing, but it's helping people raise their game and bring their highest value to the organization and to the clients, which has a really direct impact on the capability for these organizations to deliver.
Well, and I know that there's many cases that you could cite on how you've impacted and how implementing these applications has impacted these companies with, the ability to sell more. Like you said, doing higher value things where you've got someone whose time is worth so much, and they've found over a time study that they're spending all kinds of time doing things that don't generate revenue, that are, minuscule kinds of things, repeatable things that AI could actually take over, right? So that they can use it as a thought partner, use it as a way to be able to sell more and grow top line revenue as well.
Mhm. Yeah, so not only potentially creating more margin, but also creating more top line.
Right. I was just going to say with the key person comment that you made too, that's another huge thing. I just had this conversation today with a business owner who, his partner who is ill, like deathly ill,
Mm.
and how much um, intellectual property, we call that, right, resides in the head of this man. And we're talking a multi-million-dollar company, like a large company, like middle market, not lower middle market, not Main Street. And that's still the case there. And how afraid this partner of his is, who runs their other company in another state, and how nervous he is about this. Like what's going to happen if this guy, passes. So we've got, like, you're citing something here that could be like a game changer.
Yeah, it's fun to be in the conversations with these business owners and even founders, right? That start to realize how they can address that and position themselves in a really unique way to the buyers, but also really create a platform for their company to be successful long term.
Mm.
And when you start to look at the multi-gen family enterprises and those types of transitions and how to be able to help that collaboration amongst generations and that learning and the transition, it's really exciting to be in those possibilities. And then they start to actually interact with these knowledge centers and and you see the light bulbs go off. And well, if we can do it here, can we do it here? And can we do it here?
Yeah.
So that's been a lot of fun.
Well, and your skill set, your expertise is absolutely perfect for this kind of work because you help teams with mindset, with growth, with flipping the switch, flipping the script, if you will, and being able to adopt AI as something that could be a growth accelerator. But you need to have someone help facilitate that and have those conversations. And I know that your expertise is perfect for that. So honestly, it's just been a joy and a privilege being able to work with you guys and help some of my clients adopt it as well. Now, I know we've been talking about private business mostly in the conversation so far, but we're also working with professional services firms, and then you can talk about that as well and how that's impacted some of these firms. Super exciting because we think about services and we just go, well, we really don't want AI involved in that, right? Because it's going to take over our work. And the answer to that is, well, no, it's not going to steal your wisdom, right? It's going to help you do higher level things. But what does that look like CPA firms and law firms? And now, how is it working for them?
Yeah, well, and I want to tie what you were just talking about together and connect to this question, which is one of the main pieces to make all of this successful. I think a foundational piece, and this is back to the people side again, is this ability to create trust, right? Across the
Mm-hmm.
organization and across the teams. And AI has such an amazing ability to come in with the type of change it is and erode trust. And so to be able to be intentional about putting the practices in place, not only internally, but now as a professional service provider, to be creating that level of trust with your clients, with the way and it's not just AI, but the change of the way the world's going. For me, I've never been more excited with bringing this work alive because of how it can have such a positive impact on more and more people. And from a professional service side, just one of our clients in a law firm, we kicked things off with their board, and we hear this story over and over and over, where they're starting to realize that their clients are using and want to use AI. And if they don't figure out how to use AI, both internally, so they understand it and apply it, they're not going to be able to support their clients' needs as they dive into this new technology and all the unknowns that are out there happening. So, to your point, the opportunity that we're seeing with AI is to be able to marry the technology with the subject matter expertise.
Yes.
Bring that subject matter expertise alive in ways that you haven't been able to before and scale. And again, doing the lower workflow things, but also becoming a strategic partner in ways that you haven't been able to 24/7, that opens up the capacity of that advisor across all the stakeholders.
All the stakeholders, for sure. And when we talk about advisors, many of the folks listening are advisors and are CEPAs and are quarterbacks. So when you're leading the charge, your client, like statistically speaking, this isn't just opinion, right? The business owners are really expecting us as advisors to help direct and guide them. So, to your point about the comments the lawyers were making, if we don't figure this out, we could not only lose clients over it, we could also lose associates because they'll
Yeah.
go somewhere else, right? Where the technology is. If we don't have it, they'll go somewhere else. So, there's a lot of risk in saying no. And of course, there's going to be risk in saying yes too. But if you have a good roadmap or blueprint, right, that your company designs, um, I mean that you have to have a plan. Like I say it all the time in exit planning, we don't just get in the car and drive around, right?
Hope that
Yeah,
we end up somewhere we like.
yeah, right. We're not going off a cliff. Yeah, well, that's a good thing. Well, maybe we get on a road that actually take us somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, starting to define that future state, but importantly, why that future state, and then starting to understand all the different pieces. And one of the things I think that you and I have talked about that we find with the advisors and professional advisors is you know, taking that leap is really hard because, again, back to starting to see a different paradigm as our belief systems are, man, all of our value is inside of us and our knowledge. So, what's the risk of taking that and starting to unleash it in ways that we haven't done before? And both there and internally, what we find many, many times is that people aren't necessarily resistant to change. What they're resistant to is being competent on the other side of change.
Yes.
And so they push back on the change. So a key piece of this, what you're talking about, this roadmap and this blueprint back to the people is what's the plan, not only for the use cases and prioritizing them and creating a filter around, how you prioritize them and what's available that you can buy and what do you need to build. So you put that whole plan together. But then the other side is the people side, right? And what plan do you have in place to make people feel supported on this other side? Not only feel supported, but actually help them raise their game. That whole side of the plan is a very, very important one. So you are meeting people where they're at, and every person is in this conversation. And many times we make people wrong for this, which is, how is this going to impact me?
Sure.
Right? How
Yep.
is this going to impact me? And a lot of times with organizations, we go in and say, well, it's not about you, it's about the team, it's about the organization. But even more so now, the opportunity is to be in that conversation and understand how it's going to impact each person and what their concerns are, so you can start to connect the dots and help them see the through line and have a piece of the vision so they can be supportive of it and see the through line around what they care about, the organization cares about, and their clients care about. And that part of the plan is a critical piece to whether you're going to be successful or how soon you're going to be successful with implementing this type of new capability.
So yes, 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 for sure. How about like when we going back to advisors now, you and I and the team are working on an application for exit planning. A lot of the listeners out there of the show know because I've been talking about it for several months now. So we're really building something powerful. And I'm super excited about it. So let's spend the rest of our couple minutes here just talking about that and what that's going to do for the advisor community, which of course will impact their clients.
Yeah, well, I'm really curious what you're most excited about with it.
Yeah. So a few years ago, I approached another company that specializes in creating AI applications for larger companies. And I knew them through the Exit Planning Institute. And not that they were affiliated, but that they had asked me about it and, should we get involved? And I'm like, of course you should get involved. This is a value driver. And I said, hey, have you ever thought about creating something like for people like me who do all this manual work that's so time consuming and there's only so many people that I can help? But if I had more automation and more efficiency around artificial intelligence, that I could actually help more owners. And they said, no, let's talk about it. Well, then they lost interest because they just thought that it was too big of a lift and they didn't have the manpower to start off from square one. And then fast forward, you talked to me about 2 years later and said, have you ever thought about doing this for exit planning? I'm like, yeah, I am ready. Let's talk about it. So why I'm excited is at the end of the day, what it does is it enables advisors to help more business owners. And that's why we're in the work in the first place, regardless of our discipline, regardless of whether we're focused on Main Street businesses, lower middle market, upper market, whatever, no matter where we sit at the table, at the end of the day, what we're supposed to be doing anyway is helping our owners achieve the best possible outcome. Sometimes that's an exit and sometimes it's not. But we all are there to help them achieve what they want and what's possible. And we can't help as many as we'd like to if we're doing it all manually, right? And so that's what excites me the most about being able to do this work with you and make a huge impact for advisors who can help their clients.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And what I really like, and you pound the pavement a lot around this, is the ability. You're talking about supporting these business owners having their best outcomes possible. And to do that, it takes a team of advisors, right? There's no one advisor that has the capability to do all that. So one heavy lift across this whole industry has been, how do advisors collaborate at a really high level and form their own team to be supporting these business owners? And that's what I'm really also excited about with this technology and platform, is that ability to be able to support that level of collaboration and have somebody quarterback that and lead that for the benefit of the business owner.
Definitely. And when the owner wins, we all win.
Mhm.
Right? Because companies sell for a higher multiple. Financial advisors have more AUM, right? Our fees are in line with what we're worth, all the things. So it's all a win-win, and it's super exciting. Just really love having this conversation. I wish we had more time. Maybe you could just share with us one or two things for the listener, regardless of where they sit. Like, what could they do next if they've done nothing?
Well, I think a big piece is to dive in and play a little bit, right? Get curious and go in from a place of, see if you can start to explore not how it fits into your current paradigm, but be open to how it could actually shift it. So a great place to start is to go into, Chat GPT. That seems to be the one that most people like to go to. There's all different types of other chats that you can be going, but go in and start to play around with it and understand the different types of prompts and these agents that you can be starting to design and support. That's the best place, because once you start to learn, it's going to open up the world for you.
And we will have your contact information in the show notes. So everyone who's listening right now, you can find Erik through that. Also look for our post on LinkedIn so that you can make connections there. If you can't find that, you know how to get a hold of me, and I'll definitely make the connection. Erik and I are working together a lot now these days. Super excited about that. Thank you so much for joining us again, Erik. Such a high value conversation.
Yep. Thanks, Julie. This is great. Really excited.
Fantastic. And thanks to our listeners and our sponsors. Please do join us again next time.